Module 3. Planning and implementing effective small group activities. Planning and implementing effective small group activities for children involves designing activities that are engaging, challenging, and appropriately scaffolded to support student learning and collaboration within a small group setting. Why plan lessons? Planning is essential for teachers because it helps them to organize their thoughts and actions, so they know exactly what they want to teach and how they want to teach it. Think creatively, so they can come up with fun and engaging ways to help you learn. Gather things in advance, so they have all the materials they need to teach the lesson. Link goals and objectives, so they can make sure you're learning what you need to learn. Address the whole child, which means they're not just teaching you academic subjects, but also help you develop as a person. Individualize programs, so they can adapt their teaching to your unique needs and learning style. Address differences among children, so they can make sure everyone in the class can learn and succeed. Communicate intentions to others, so parents and other teachers know what's being taught in the class. Identify assessment strategies in advance, so they can evaluate how well you're learning and adjust their teaching accordingly. Activity plan format. An activity plan is a structured way to plan and organize activities for individual children, small groups, or the entire class. The needs, strengths, and interests of the children should be considered first when developing an activity plan. It typically includes the following factors. Domain. This refers to the various dimensions of whole child learning. The activity should be designed to address different aspects of a child's development, such as cognitive, physical, social, and emotional. Activity name. Each activity should have a name for easy reference. The name should describe the activity in a way that is easy for children to understand. Goal. The goal of the activity should answer the question, what do we want children to learn or achieve? The goal should be specific and relevant to the children's needs and interests. Objectives. The objectives are specific learning behaviors that children might logically display concerning the goal. Objectives should be measurable and realistic. Content. The content of the activity should identify the information that will be addressed and the materials needed to carry out the lesson. The content should be age-appropriate and relevant to the children's interests. Procedures. The procedures are a step-by-step description of how the teacher will implement the lesson. It should include ways to simplify the lesson to accommodate the needs of some or all the children. The procedures should be clear and concise, with specific instructions on how to carry out each step. Simplifications. Simplifications are ways to modify the activity if the objectives are too advanced for some children. Simplifications should be provided for children who need additional support to participate in the activity. Extensions. The extensions are more advanced steps for children who need something more challenging. Extensions should be provided for children who have already mastered the objectives of the activity. Evaluation. The evaluation serves as both an ending and a beginning to the planning process. It focuses on the effectiveness of a teacher's teaching. After the activity is completed, the teacher should evaluate its effectiveness and make changes as necessary for future activities. Overall, an activity plan format is an essential tool for teachers to plan engaging and effective learning experiences for their students. By including the above factors, teachers can ensure that their activities are well designed, meaningful, and enjoyable for all children. Developmental direction. Developmental direction is the logical sequence in which children's learning might occur. This sequence follows some principles, including known to unknown, self to other, whole to part, concrete to abstract, inactive to symbolic, simple to complex, exploratory to goal-directed, and less accurate to more accurate. Known to unknown means that children learn new skills by building upon what they already know. Self to other. This is when children's learning starts with themselves and then moves to understanding other people and the world around them. Whole to part. This means that children first understand the big picture before moving on to the details. Concrete to abstract. This means that children first learn through hands-on experiences before moving on to more abstract ideas. Inactive to symbolic. This means that children explain objects and experiences through their actions before using symbols to communicate them to others. Simple to complex means that children start with smaller tasks before moving on to more challenging tasks that require greater independence. Exploratory to goal-directed means that children need to explore objects before they can use them in specific ways. Finally, less accurate to more accurate means that children use trial and error to learn and become more accurate over time. Common activities in early childhood programs. In early childhood programs, there are many different activities that children participate in. Some of these activities include planned and spontaneous demonstrations, exploration, and direct instruction. Planned demonstration is when the teacher plans to show the children how something works. For example, the teacher might plan to demonstrate how to make a paper airplane or how to tie your shoes. Spontaneous demonstration is when the teacher spontaneously shows the children how something works. For example, if a child is curious about a butterfly, the teacher might catch a butterfly and show it to the children. Exploration is when children learn through playful explorations. For example, the children might be given a set of blocks to build with, or they might be given Play-Doh to mold and shape. Direct instruction is used to help children learn vocabulary, facts, and other concepts. In this type of activity, children have the least control over what happens in the activity. For example, the teacher might use flashcards to teach children new words, or they might use a map to teach children about different countries. So, in summary, early childhood programs involve a variety of activities, including planned and spontaneous demonstrations, exploration, and direct instruction, all designed to help children learn and grow. Scientific problem steps. These are the steps scientists take when they are trying to solve a problem. There are 5 steps in the scientific method. Let's go through them. Step 1. Becoming aware or observing. Scientists start by becoming aware of a problem or observing something interesting. For example, let's say you noticed that plants grow differently in different types of soil. This could be a problem you want to solve. Step 2. Predicting. Once a scientist has a problem or observation, they predict what they think will happen. For example, you might predict that plants will grow better in soil with more nutrients. Step 3. Experimenting. To test their prediction, scientists conduct experiments. In our example, you could plant 2 sets of the same type of plant, one in nutrient-rich soil and one in poor soil, and see how they grow. Step 4. Drawing conclusions. After conducting their experiment, scientists analyze the data and draw conclusions based on their observations. For example, you might conclude that plants do grow better in nutrient-rich soil. Step 5. Communicating results. Finally, scientists communicate their results to others so that they can share what they learned. This could be done by writing a scientific paper, giving a presentation, or creating a video.